3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome into PressBox Live. I'm Stan the Fan Charles of PressBox and PressBoxOnline.com. Expert and award-winning AJ Michaels Heating, AC, Plumbing, and Home Performance will improve your home's energy efficiency and comfort levels. AC season is coming up fast. New rebates and discounts are available. More at ajmichaels.com. And we hit the ground running. Ross Grimsley with me, the old left-hander, and one of my favorite right-handers in the history of the Baltimore Orioles, Mike Boddicker, out in his home in Kansas City, Missouri. How are you, Mike?
Well, you forgot the old for me too. I'm old too, you know.
Not as old as Grimsley.
Oh, thanks.
You probably still throw hard. You know,
we used to drag fastballs. What are you talking about?
Hey, Mike, we always have you on and we talk baseball, and then we get into talking about your foundation and the big drawings you have for some really interesting bourbons. Why don't we do it reverse tonight? Tell us a little bit about your foundation, how you started it, and about this charity auction coming up.
okay. I will get into it quickly. 3 years ago, my kids didn't know what to get me for Christmas. So they said, you know what? We're going to start this foundation. And I have a real passion for kids that are sick, kids with cancer, all kids, any kid that's sick. It tugs at my heart. And so we started this foundation. We have one of the best children's hospitals in the country here in Kansas City. And we wanted to help out in some possible way to take care of the families so they didn't have to worry about anything except for taking care of their kids that are sick. We get a lot of people from Arkansas and Nebraska and Iowa and Missouri and Western Kansas here that they gotta be with their kids. And the bills are asking. So we started this thing hoping to make, $10,000–$15,000 we can just, help them out. And the first year we kind of hit the jackpot because it was COVID and everybody was getting stimulus checks, and everybody decided, oh, I'll join in. So we made $81,000 the first year. Crazy. This is $5 a ticket. You put $5 in here and you have a chance to win a Pappy Van Winkle or any of these really high-end bourbons that you can't find. You can't find these darn things.
Right.
And so last year we thought, oh, okay, that's over with. Maybe we'll be lucky if we can get 50. We're hoping to get 50. We end up getting 87. We're sitting right at 60-some thousand right now. And again, I'm hoping to get 70, but $60,000 is a lot of money for these families to pay for their hotels and their food and maybe a utility bill or a house payment or something, just to get them through. Just don't worry about that. Take care of your kid. Get them well. That's all.
It just takes some of the stress off of them.
And I mean, there's other. We have a lot of actors. They do a thing here called a Big Slick, where they have a celebrity softball game out at the stadium, and they have a pickleball tournament or a golf tournament, and then they have this big thing at the auditorium where they auction off all kinds of stuff. They make $2–3 million to give to this hospital, but it doesn't go to the families. It goes to the general. So we just wanted to help out in a tiny way. That's all we want.
All right. Now, so tell us a little bit about how it actually works. So people buy these $5 tickets.
Problem is, Stan, we can't ship booze.
And can Grimsley and I buy a couple?
We have to go get it, which we will.
I'll put Ross on that assignment.
You guys can come out and pick up your booze. Yeah. Well, like I tell everybody, if you're in it to try to win a bottle of booze, you're in it for the wrong thing. This is about helping.
That's why I offered us to buy a couple tickets. Not about the booze.
It's not about, if you win a bottle, great. I wish everybody could win a bottle. But, you got $60,000–$70,000 worth of $5 tickets. That's a lot of tickets. You got 50 bottles to draw from. Everybody's going to win a bottle. But it's about helping people.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do.
Ross, go ahead.
How do they go about selecting which families? I know there's over 100 families that the foundation helps. How they go about picking which families get some of the proceeds?
You know, it's funny because we actually knew some people. My daughter did that the other daughter was in there with cancer, and she actually did a little video for us. And so we could handle this. We live here. We have some money. We can handle this. But for the people who are come up from Arkansas or Western Kansas, I mean that's so tough. And then you're sitting there thinking, how's my kid going to live? He's got cancer. They're going to go through the chemo. They got to go maybe operations. It's like, oh, awful, just awful. And they try to help anybody they can. And generally, I think there was 100 families with kids in with cancer this past year, and they also dipped into the main fund to help some people out. But it's just a little part of it. But there's so many people in need, whether it be cancer, Alzheimer's, whatever. There's so many good causes out there that if people would just help each other a little bit. Think about it. Think how much we waste $5-10 here and there through the course of a day. I do.
Oh yeah.
So, makes me think now. Oh, I don't get that. I could use it and throw it into the foundation money. So I'm helping somebody. That's what I want.
Right.
I was blessed. Still am. So
How are you feeling?
with my fingers. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you still have those.
Yeah. Feel great. I really do.
Good.
I'm old
Good.
in the morning. I'm waiting when I get out of bed, that first 2 steps fall on my face, which is going to happen eventually. Oh,
Not yet.
So, those first 2 steps are a doozy, boy. I tell you. Yeah.
Well, I know before we came on, we were talking about watching baseball. I know you got Kansas City there,
Oh,
and
boy.
we were commenting on how I know they're 4-12. They're at the bottom, but have you got a chance to see them? And what's going on there in Kansas City?
Well, the pitching started off pretty decent, and then they ran into the Braves.
Whoops.
That's a mistake. Yeah, they were hyping all these pitchers. Oh, we didn't hit at all. We couldn't score runs to save our lives. And part of it, Bobby Witt Jr. went to the WBC. These guys went to the WBC, got 2 at bats in 3 weeks. I mean, they're going to start slow, like the pitchers. That's just part of the deal. And Bobby Witt had I think three straight 3-hit games and got his average back up to 290 fast. So, but we just still don't score a lot of runs, and our left-hander Chris Bubich just went on the IL with a forearm strain, which they taught him a slider this.
You know he's going to throw that and try to spin it as hard as he can.
Spinning it, and it didn't feel too good. 3rd start in, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You see these young kids, and yeah.
Bod, what happened to Brady Singer so far this year? He had such a great second half last year that you hope with the young pitcher, there's a continuum into the next year.
He had 2 really good starts to start the year, and then he ran into the Braves, and everything's relevant to who you're playing.
Yeah.
And it's like the O's. I think they're playing great. It's just that they're in a buzzsaw division, man. You got Tampa who's just going nuts, and then you get Toronto, York, and it's like, holy cow, that's a tough division. They need to move out here. They could win this one easy. Our very strong.
Well, following up on what you said about it's all relevant to who you play. The Rays, who are 14-2, but they played the 3 worst teams in baseball the first 9 games. So they had a little comeuppance with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are pretty darn good, and they've got some sluggers and they got some pretty good pitching. So Texas has improved this year. They're better this year. They're saying Cleveland's supposed to win our division, and with Minnesota right behind it, but I didn't think either one of those teams are that good. So I don't know. If all you have to do is play 500 baseball and you got a chance in this division.
Mike, I gotta ask you, we've all three of us have been around a long time. The Shohei Ohtani phenomenon. Did you ever think in your life that you would see somebody do what he does?
No, not in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Everybody says, nobody's ever seen this before. I say, yeah, Babe Ruth back in the day.
Yeah.
When that was it. That's pretty much it. You're not ever going to see that. No, he is a freak. You can't do that easily. I mean, he's got a beautiful swing and he knows how to pitch with great stuff. I mean, he's a phenomenon. There's no doubt about it.
Ross, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. You talk about, Bod, the AL East, the Yankees, there's a lot of injuries. The injuries are really starting to pop up now. I know Stanton went down with the Yankees. He's down for 6 weeks. Several pitchers, and you see one a day go down with some type of thing. And what is your take on this? One of the reasons for all the injuries that are happening, not only this year, but over the past several years. It's something that's not really talked about a lot. I mean, it's mentioned, but it's not really elaborated on. Why? Well, what is going on?
Well, you got a bunch of kids that literally you can't get drafted unless you're about 6'3" and 20 and throw 95 anymore. They won't even look at you. And so these kids are doing all these different programs where they're trying to increase their velocity and going max effort. That's what it's called. Go max effort. And I'm going, no, that's not what you do. You go max effort when you need it. And these kids are coming out from day one, from the time they're in high school, all the way through, and they're going max effort every pitch all the time. That's why they can only go 5 innings.
Yeah.
If they go 5.
Yeah, if they go 5, and you're going to blow out. You can't do that. Your arm's not supposed to do what a pitching motion does. And you're going to have a lot of injuries. That's just part of the deal. And with Tommy John surgery, everybody's coming back throwing 10 miles an hour harder. They're going, oh, we don't care. We'll just get Tommy John and throw even harder. They can't command their fastball.
Right.
So if you can't command your fastball, you pretty hard to pitch in the big leagues.
We've heard stories, Mike, of parents that have gone to doctors and said, let's do the Tommy John surgery. And they said, the kid doesn't need it right now. And they said, well, we want to get it behind him. Crazy.
You said the right word, parents. They're crazy.
You're right.
Crazy. I always tell my kid, I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm here to raise you. Okay.
Yeah.
Friends later. Right now, you're the right way. So, yeah. Yeah.
Bud, I saw something on media, on social media, I think yesterday, the day before, and talking about guys that threw 84, 85, 86 back in the 80s. Hey, I'm right there with you, buddy. But so the way they gunned us back then was different than they gun now. Our 85, 86 would have been 91, 92 today if they graded us the way, the ball out of your hand. So, I mean, that's something that, hey, I never thought I would be able to say that. We were throwing 91, 92.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people that all the time. I says, if this guy's throwing 97 miles an hour, Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson must have been throwing 125 miles
At least. Oh, really?
Sit there and watch them both right down near the field or on the field. And that ain't even close to what those guys were throwing.
No.
It was like I'm going, no, I'm sorry.
Don't try to sell me that. I know, but that's something that I saw. That's something that I talk about on occasion on the show or wherever that, you guys aren't getting the true story right now I mean, the guys are on a whole throwing harder, but it's not like everybody's throwing 100 miles an hour. That's not the case. It is on the way the gun readings are when they're out of your hand, which is the hardest pitch that's going to be thrown and graded. But by the time the ball crosses home plate, it might be 5 or more miles an hour off of that reading. So, but no one talks about it. So, and plus the command. The command is, I have never seen people swing at balls so far out of the zone. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a scout, and Mike Smith was on. He says, I chase some balls up in the zone and down and away, but not 3 feet off the plate and head high. I never swung at those.
What the other batter's box?
Oh yeah.
That's what you're seeing, and you're going, what exactly was going through your mind when you saw that pitch come into the plate?
Yeah.
That might be a strike. Oh wow!
I know. You got some great athletes out there today that are bigger, stronger, faster, than much better shape than we were, but they don't know how to play the game. The fundamentals, they spend less time on the field. The fundamentals are not the same. And it's, they rely more on the data they get instead of what they see and they don't watch the game because they're watching the iPads. But I mean, it'd be amazing if the guys really actually studied the game and watched it, how it's played and what have you. You'd have some really, it's interesting to watch now, but it would be so much better if a guy actually knew there was a cutoff man to hit.
Well, these kids, Ross, from the time they're little, they've never had to think. All the been called, everything has been done for them, and they get to this level, they really don't know what to do. So I completely understand they have to do this stuff because they're clueless.
Right. That's not their fault.
It's not their fault. And you see it, you reach in their back pocket and they're looking at a card to see where they're supposed to play. Really?
I know.
No. And they got their walkie-talkie thing going, and nobody ever no pitcher never shakes his head.
No.
It's get it and throw it, and as hard as I can, and hopefully I can make it into the 5th inning. That's it. And then
they had in yesterday's Orioles White Sox game, Dylan Cease, who is one of the best pitchers in the American League. He was having trouble with his electronics. It was on his glove. It kept falling off, and they were having all kinds of problems. But yeah, they had to stop play 3 times to do that. And I'm going, doesn't it seem like after the 2nd time you might just go, hey guys, you can't use this. The catcher will call the pitch.
Wouldn't that be fun to watch a catcher call a game again?
I hope he remembers how.
Well, yeah, that's true. It makes it what. Everybody says, "Oh, don't you like the pitch clock?" I said, "Yeah, kind of, because basically it makes really bad baseball go faster." Yeah, get faster.
It's almost too fast, though.
It was. I did a radio thing today with Brett Saberhagen was on, and they were asking him about the pitch clock and everything. He goes, "We didn't need a pitch clock.
No.
Most of our games were 2.5 hours, except for Dennis Martinez, which."
he had 100 pitches by the 4th inning, though.
Say, hey, we can go out in the parking lot and make a bunch of money washing all the cars in the parking lot while Dennis. Everybody else was 2.5 hours. I mean, that's sometimes less.
Yeah.
We didn't need a pitch clock. We knew what we were doing. These kids don't. They have to have somebody think for them. So yeah.
Mike, talk a little bit about, though, I think we all agree that we like the game sped up a little bit, the pace of play moving the way it is now. But how is it impacting the pitcher's ability to do things that he wants to do, the rush of the clock? Do you think they have the right amount of time set aside for this, or do you think it should be 5 seconds more or something like that?
Man, it's plenty of time. If you can't figure out what you're going to throw and get on the hill and throw it in 15 seconds, something's wrong with you anyway.
Okay.
Hitters are the same. Get in the box.
Yeah.
Get ready. Get in the box. Quit messing with your gloves and everything else you have. Get in the box and hit. It makes it simple. The problem is, what I can't stand is if you throw to first base twice, you can't throw over there anymore. It's a balk. I'm going, really? That's stupid. That's just asinine right there. In bigger bases, why?
Really?
And they put a guy on second base within extra innings. Nobody can bunt. What the heck? Basically, swing out of your rear end and hope you hit it out. Why do you need a guy at second? That run it's going to win anyway. So yeah, they can move a run or bunt. So what difference does it make?
Mike, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk to you. You're out in Kansas City. Do you get to rub elbows at all with the Chiefs? You know, I mean, are you at events with them, or do you know Patrick Mahomes or any of those guys?
Pitched against his dad. I saw his dad at a card show here not long ago.
Yeah.
Thank him for giving us his son. That's a good kid. He's to win. So yeah. I see some ex-Chiefs. I don't see a lot of the current Chiefs because they have their own little group that they stay into and work and stuff like that. But hopefully, I'm doing some stuff this summer. Hopefully, I'll get to see some of the guys. But you know, I don't get too much awestruck on
No.
people. No. Hank Aaron made.
Do you enjoy watching? Do you enjoy watching their games, the Chiefs game?
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. You know, it's that guy. Never count Pat Mahomes out. Patrick will win somehow. He's amazing. He really is. As long as you got Travis Kelce out there and Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid coaching, you never bet against him ever.
Hey Ross, you got one or two more for?
Yeah, just one real quick. Bod, where do you, you get a chance to see or not see, but you might have watched some Oriole games, or you follow them very much?
A little bit, I do. I've got the MLB package, and I get the O's on. I do watch bits and pieces of the game because I'm supposed to be watching the Royals because I do radio. So
Right.
But back and forth, yeah, I do it, and the O's look pretty good. I thought the games I watched, they look pretty good.
Yeah, I wondered, one of the things that they talk about, they hadn't developed pitchers since, Messina and you and, a couple other guys, but this Rodriguez looks like he's struggled a little bit at times, but he's had some flashes where he's, he's walking a few more people than I think he wants to do, but I think he's, what little I haven't seen,
I'll tell you what, guys, yesterday he gives up a 3-run homer in the first 3 batters, gives up a solo homer to Berger. He's down 4-0. Cease threw 10 pitches in the first inning. You think there's no way we can win that game. He comes out and shuts them down for the next 4 innings. And I got to tell you, he ended up, I think, with 7 or 8 strikeouts. And it was all change-ups, Mike. He really threw a lot of change-ups, and he's got a really good one.
Well, it's the old saying, Stan. You got to get them early, or you're not going to win, and that's the thing. And we go through that with our pitchers too. I mean, the first couple innings are a struggle, and I don't understand why. I don't know if it's mental or what it is. And once they settle down, they throw the ball pretty good. The stuff that these kids have are just. Some of them are just nasty. I don't know how some of these guys lose, to be honest with you.
Really?
I keep thinking, if I had that stuff, holy, it's been fun. With that, I had to trick people. These guys can just blow people away with nasty breaking balls and a lot of good changeups out there right now. And we're starting to see a influx of pretty good curveballs anymore. Kids are starting to throw the curveball again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
We appreciate your coming on with us, Mike. Tell us again real quick about the charity and how somebody might be watching this that's nearby or over here and wants to donate some money by buying tickets.
Just go to BoddicerFoundation.org, and it'll take you right to the site, and it'll tell you what to do. It'll show you the lineup of bourbons and a little thing there that says buy tickets or donate, and it's very simple, very simple. I do have one more plug though.
Go
Stan.
ahead.
John Stafaro. I just picked up my new Toyota Tacoma,
Brown Toyota.
Stafford Brown.
Stafford brand. I'm sorry. I got it right. Okay.
This is the second vehicle, and my daughter bought a van from him. So, yeah, I picked it up this morning. It was shipped out. Yeah.
So how does it ships out to you and all of a sudden it'll show up at your door?
No, I just go to. We've got so many car dealerships around here. I just
Okay.
say, what car dealership you're bringing a car out to, and I'll be there. Tell me when, and I'll be there. It works.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
John took great care of me, and I have to give him a good plug because
Absolutely.
Ross, we gotta get Stafaro on one night. All right.
I'm gonna see him when I'll go see him when I get there in June.
All right, we'll get him on then. Okay. Hey, Mike, we appreciate it. We know we come to you about every 4 or 5 months, and we hope we can do it later in the season. All right.
God willing.
That's right.
This age,
That's
you don't know.
right. All right. We thank you,
Thanks,
Mike
bud.
Boddicker. Okay. All right.
Got it.
All right.
Tell the family we said hey.
All right, we'll talk to you
Give
later.
give all 13 grandchildren a hug for us.
I see him every day. I sure will.
That's
Every
great.
day.
That's great. All right, there he is. Number 52, one of the best right-handers in Oriole history, Mike Boddicker. And we appreciate him coming on with us and telling us about it. Ross, I appreciate you hooking up with Mike Boddicker. And we'll
Absolutely.
be back again next Monday. As Mike said, God willing. We'll remind you that we are brought to you by the Costas Inn. The Costas Inn located at 4100 North Point Boulevard. Great restaurant. And also by our friends at AJ Michaels. Expert and award-winning AJ Michaels Heating, AC, Plumbing, and Home Performance will improve your home's energy efficiency and comfort levels. AC season is coming up fast. New rebates and discounts are available. More at ajmichaels.com. For Mike Boddicker, Ross Grimsley, I'm Stan the Fan, and we'll see you down the road a little bit.